The Target Corporation is trading at an extreme discount, and being only up 1% in the 1 year, they prove to be a very enticing investing opportunity going into 2025. Now, as we can see here, guys, Target Corporation is currently trading at $132.38. And even more recently, the company has seen a steep decline on exactly November 19th, 2024. Now, this steep drop came after their Q3 earnings, where they missed their EPS by 45 cents and missed the revenue by $231 million. Now, while at face value this may seem extremely discouraging, it's more important to look at Target's financials and their entire sector as a whole. Now, if we jump over to Yahoo Finance, we can currently see that analyst price targets are anywhere from $103 to $170, and their average is around $142. The company is currently trading well below that average. And if we also look at this analyst recommendations here, we can see that there's still a good majority that are deeming Target a strong or a regular buy going into December. If you guys are enjoying this video so far, make sure to like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel and I really appreciate it. Now, if we jump over here to our discounted cash flow analysis model here, we can see that in 2023, Target saw a steep increase in their free cash flow. As we can see here, following a negative free cash flow growth in 2018, Target provided 2 consecutive years of positive high cash flow growth. In 2019, we see here $4 billion, and in 2020, we see here $7.8 billion. Then immediately following COVID-19, they had a 35% decrease, and then into 2022, they actually had their first negative free cash flow year. However, following 2022, we can see here that they had a positive cash flow year of $3.8 billion. Now, when we average out these growth rates, we can see we get an average growth rate of 41%. And when plugging in a relatively modest growth rate here of 10%, which is in line with analysts' expectations into the future, we can see next year their growth estimate is around 7%. We can see here that we get a discounted cash flow price per share of $209.52. Now, when we factor in our margin of error of 20%, we get a post-MOE price of $167.62. Now, what this doesn't include is the actual 2024 free cash flow. If we use the actual company's cash flow here, we can see it's $4.545 billion. And if we plug that into our 2024 future free cash flow, we can see that that even increases the discounted cash flow price per share of $228.91. Now, the important thing to keep in mind with a company like Target is their sector. So since they're in consumer discretionary, even in economic recessions, the company will still do well. Now, with that, I will say that Target is more of a premium brand as opposed to other grocery and retail superstores like Walmart or Kroger. However, the thing that sets Target aside from Walmart and Kroger is their high starting dividend yield. If we jump back over here to Seeking Alpha, we can see that their dividend yield currently is 3.36%. And when comparing that with Walmart, we can see that their dividend yield is only 0.88%. So this is a great sign to begin with because it shows that while you have missed out on a little bit of dividend yield on cost growth, at the same time, you can still enter this position currently and still receive a very high dividend. Another thing I would like to point out is Target's dividend growth. We can see here that starting back in 2019, they only paid $2.60 per share, and all the way in 2023, they're paying $4.36 per share. Even in 2024, we can see that their payout amount is $4.44 per share. And if we jump back up here to their dividend growth rates, we can see that their 3-year cumulative annual growth rate is 12%, 5-year is 11%, and their 10-year is 8%. So it's very obvious that we can see that Target has made dividend growth one of their main focuses as far as investor relations. And if we jump over here to the dividend estimates, we can see that this dividend amount is set to increase too in 2025, 2026, and 2027. So while at face value, this very big dip that we saw on November 20th is a little bit alarming, we can see that Target still has very, very strong cash flows and financial data. I would also like to point out over here on our intrinsic value worksheet that we can see that their amount of shares outstanding have significantly decreased from April till November. We can see that the Target company has bought back about 4 million shares over a 7-month span. Another thing to look at when you're buying a company like Target is they're a very premium company, so you're going to have to sacrifice a lot of capital for a very reliable dividend-paying company. We can see here in the dividend history in the past 10 years, the Target Corporation has yet to cut their dividend. We can see right here, even in their consistency, that they have paid 56 years of consecutive dividend growth and 56 years of consecutive dividend payments. Now, when comparing that to their sector, they're doing extremely well. And one of the last things I would like to point out with a company like Target is you always see a very, very strong end of year performance for a company like them, because you have holidays like Christmas, you have shopping holidays like Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and these companies always benefit from consumer spending. I will be very interested to see how they perform in January of 2025 with an EPS of 8.67 and their consensus revenue estimate of 105.86 billion. I personally believe that the company as it stands is trading at a very, very large discount. Considering they've seen prices of $181 per share earlier in the year, I feel like this is a very enticing buying opportunity. And if we even look at that post-earnings drop in share price, they were trading at $121, and the company is already back at $132 per share. So they've regained about $11 in share price in less than half of a month. So that's very encouraging as well. But let me know what you guys think down below. Is Target a good looking company to you guys going into 2025, or are you staying pretty far away from it? Let me know down below. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.